Hello viewers, the me and team here. Welcome to more Let's Play Civilization 4 with Ragnar on Archipelago. And in this video, we'll be chasing liberalism. And I checked, and this is the last of the post-commentary videos. Starting with the next one, I'll be back to live commentary. This one and the next one are done already, so I'll probably upload a set of 3 today and then continue on as normal. And here, finally, can start running my scientists. As you can see, I'm getting fairly large amounts of great people points right away using that, so that's very helpful. One of the things about great people points is that the first one costs 100 great person points, second one costs 200, then 400 and up. So the returns on the first couple great people, especially if they're great scientists, are really impressive. And then over time, diminishing returns until eventually they become weaker than a lot of other things. And then your specialists are probably better off using the representation bonus, and the actual specialist yield is better than the great person points yield. But early in the game, and for really probably most of the first half of the game, great person points, if put into scientists, are stronger than really any alternative use. Now, I'm not doing a lot of that here because I also have financial cottages, which offer a much higher return than average themselves. So it's a little bit of a balancing act, and I decided just to make one super city for great person points and get some resource trades going there. When you're doing resource trades, definitely favor grains first, so corn, rice, and wheat. The reason for that is that they give a base 1 health like all other health resources, but then on top of that, the granary makes them give another health, and pretty much every city you own should have a granary as either its first or second build. So that definitely makes them the strongest health resource by a wide stretch. Now here, I'm deliberating between bulbing and settling. If I were to settle, I would settle in my new capital, but I didn't. I just bulbed to get education sooner. I'm feeling a little bit of liberalism pressure. I covered it in the last video that, I probably wouldn't lose it, but I don't want to lose it to Peter. So, putting a bulb into education is usually a good idea. It's also possible to bulb liberalism itself. If you already have compass and aesthetics and pretty much everything that lets you bulb paper and whatever earlier, and you do not yet have machinery, if you have machinery, you'll bulb printing press instead of liberalism. So if you get up to lib while still avoiding machinery, you can put a bulb into lib, then maybe trade for machinery and further up, and get something really good anyway. It's possible. Not always easy though. Sometimes it'll just be close to get to liberalism first at all, in which case you'll just want to take something that gives you the best trade value. Very frequently that's nationalism. Sometimes the AI is weird and multiple ones get nationalism first and not printing press, and in that rare case you would take printing press. Even though printing press is easy to bulb, it's kind of, what can you do? If it's your best trade value, you might as well take it. Gunpowder is probably like the worst thing that you might be willing to take in some rare scenarios. I don't know. I haven't taken gunpowder from liberalism in like a long time, so maybe not. Maybe I would say nationalism or printing press is the worst thing you'd be willing to take. And then obviously if you can get something better, like, I'll just get this to him. If you can get something better like astronomy or scientific method, or even better yet, like rifling or communism or steam power, things like that, by all means, pick those up. Sometimes you can even take things like democracy or assembly line, really good text with liberalism if you're doing really well. And those are all valid things to consider. Other than that, I'm just going to grow onto my cottages. I will settle down there soon, which is why I'm clearing the jungle. It's not really a good site. All it has is a spice, tile, and the grasslands aren't bad. They're pretty good. But, the city is nothing that makes it grow. And really, I can't spread irrigation there. It's too far, and I'd have to go up cottages just to do that. and give them up permanently. So, actually, yeah, it would be really difficult to spread all the way from what is now my capital to down there. And that's too much to do just to get one good city site. So I say screw it. I'll just do what I can. Now here, I forget what I did with this profit. Usually, if you can't shrine and you get them like mid to late game, you're really deciding between Golden Age and settling, with a bias towards saving them for a Golden Age. And now that I think about it, that's what I decided to do. I think I just fortified them, yeah. Because I'm going to want to eventually switch over to free speech, emancipation, universal suffrage to actually get somewhat respectable production. I mean, it won't be great, but it'll be much better than it is now. So, I'm going to want to make a mass revolt, and I'm not spiritual, so I want a Golden Age to do that. And anyway, I'm heading for liberalism. And you just saw the trade screen a moment ago. It really doesn't look like anyone's going to beat me to liberalism. The only one I could picture would be like somebody I mentioned in the earlier video, somebody who really likes it and is beelining there despite not winning philosophy. But otherwise, these AIs will be the ones that are closest. So I'll just keep cranking out for scientists and move on. The other thing I could do with the city site down there is like save it for like state property and workshop it, which would probably be the way to develop it the most rapidly. But I don't know if I want to do that, because it doesn't look like I'm setting up a very state property friendly empire regardless. I might have to do that anyway though. If I go for mass conquests overseas, then I really don't have another good option besides state property, which is unfortunate. Because, you know, I'm not a commie, but I am in Civ because they made it unrealistically good in Civ. So what can you do? You know, either let your morals or political whatever beliefs get in the way, or you pick the best option for in-game. That's pretty much it. A lot of people don't like slavery in this game, which I mean I can understand because it's a pretty terrible thing in real life. But you know, nobody's dying or having their life suffering from slavery in games, so I don't really have any moral issues with it. Try to see what I can get here in terms of in-game usage.
One doesn't discover new lands without losing
So I use it because I use it situationally. Sometimes it's not all that great. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's your best means of production early in the game. It's the same thing with like say caste system or monarchy or anything else. Serfdom. Well, actually serfdom sucks so much in-game for ancient starts that it's plenty of merit to avoid it regardless. Or theocracy, you know, whatever. Well, a lot of these civics, especially the ones that were around in old times, they're not good for your subjects. But they're good for in-game outcomes, and so you use it. Anyway, I was checking out the Celtic land there. I'm not sure yet if it's Boudica or if it's Brennus. They're similar anyway. And yeah, here I was able to take astronomy. And that's helpful in that it gives me a good research multiplier, strengthens my navy potential, and gives me intercontinental trade with more AIs should I want it or need it, as well as resource trades, which could matter just as much if not more. And plus, astronomy is really expensive tech, and I believe that's a monopoly on it. And yeah, somehow, without ships at all, I prove the world is round. That's great. When the AI is stupid enough to do things like that. Here you go, you circumnavigate the planet. We don't want that. And yeah, Toku's culture is stuffing me a little bit. I don't know, though. I'm still deliberating whether I want to take on people here first or go abroad. And there I go with an academy. 'Cause I'm not in the lib race anymore, that's tight, so might as well boost up my capital. Trades, Bismarck's close to education, so there's really no good trade value there, but I noticed Toku has gunpowder, and that I can trade him things that other AIs already have to get it. So I'm like, yeah, what the hell. I'll take that and some gold and we'll be set. And hopefully this is going to translate to a technology lead on the AI in general. And now that I have gunpowder and I can trade that away, well, Toka will trade it anyway, so I'm like, whatever, do it. We'll trigger on that. I also have guilds now. So yeah, as you can see, I'm holding pretty steady in the technology race, despite a fairly small-ish empire, and I haven't even hit the tech potential yet. So I'll see you in the next video, guys, and we'll be back to you live comments. Until then, signing out.